You're listening to Up From Dust. I'm Celia Yopis Jepsen, and today it is time to celebrate. Happy 20th birthday!
Isn't that amazing? 20 years, we never thought.
Globe at Night is classic citizen science, a project with people all around the world pitching in by looking up at the night sky, picking out constellations, say Orion or Leo, and taking a good hard look at what they see. See, these constellations don't look the same everywhere because of light pollution, and scientists want to know which stars you can see where you live and which you can't.
It's a way you can be a steward of your Earth by looking up and taking these measurements.
It's simple and clever. You don't have to be an expert or have fancy astronomy gear.
It is very easy to get involved.
This citizen science project has already uncovered some big news about our night skies that caught even the experts off guard. But there's so much more to learn. Globe at Night's 20th birthday is this month. And if you want to get it a birthday present, what it really wants is for you to scope out some stars and report what you see. Okay, to get involved, all you're going to need is internet access, preferably a smartphone, plus your bare eyes and some curiosity about the night sky. We'll get into all that. But first, a good old-fashioned origin story. Globe at Night started out small, and it didn't have that name.
Yeah, it did start as just a homebrew kind of thing.
It was all about teaching high schoolers at just a handful of schools.
2 different cities, basically.
5,000 miles apart.
Tucson, Arizona, and La Serena, Chile.
This is Connie Walker, by the way. Connie helped create Globe at Night.
And I am an astronomer. The official title is scientist at our national observatory, which is called Noir Lab.
In 2005, when this kind of homebrew thing started, no one knew it was going to end up a global project. Connie and a few other people had the idea of connecting the classes in these two far-flung cities with science and with each other.
We were trying to think about what is it that they would have in common that they could talk about from both places and bring some new awareness in terms of science. And we thought, light pollution.
So the students in northern Chile and in Arizona would go outside at night and measure light pollution with their bare eyes, which is the same thing we're going to learn in a bit. And they'd record all their findings. It was all very analog at the time. The high schoolers used paper maps and little push pins in different colors to mark the light pollution levels that they could see from their backyards and from other places. It was an easy-to-do lesson, and it was fun. And so it grew to include more students and schools. And it wasn't long before an educational program sponsored by NASA called Globe got interested and helped level up the whole project, moving it from paper maps and pushpins to the internet. In February 2006, Globe at Night was officially born. It went live online and eventually turned into a citizen science project open to the whole public.
It sort of went viral.
Folks all over could learn how to measure the darkness of the night sky where they lived.
And so we had 180 countries get involved at one point.
180 countries.
And that was amazing to us.
In 2020, Australians even set a Guinness World Record by encouraging as many people as they could to do Globe at Night on a single evening.
In one night, 6,700 measurements.
And this project has kept growing.
Yeah, we have over 300,000 observations.
So, back in the analog paper and pushpin days, they didn't know this would grow into what it is today, and they definitely didn't know that it would amass such a treasure trove of night sky reports from around the world that scientists would then be able to dig into and make a surprising discovery. They laid it all out in a study in the prestigious journal Science.
and was published in 2023 that showed something that could not be shown before.
All those citizen scientists had ended up revealing the sheer pace at which light pollution is brightening our skies.
It had a very startling result, and that was that globally, on average, our light pollution is increasing by 10% every year worldwide. And that's a huge number.
Now, the researchers, and Connie was one of them, they knew that light pollution was a problem, obviously, but not like a 10% a year kind of problem.
We thought it was only 2% by the satellite measurements, right? So it increased fivefold from what we thought before.
What was your reaction?
Well, I guess it's twofold. One, I was slightly mortified because I didn't think it was quite that bad.
How bad is that really? Well, to make it understandable, the researchers put it this way. Take a human childhood. Say someone's born in a place where right now 250 stars are visible to our bare eyes. By the time they turn 18, there will only be 100 visible stars in that same place. So obviously, this was really crummy news.
But then again, to have people involved that were dedicated enough to take those measurements gave me hope.
All those citizen scientists who cared enough to take time to do Globe at Night, they were the good news to Connie, and they kept her feeling optimistic.
I still have hope that we can reverse this result.
Because here's the wild part. We can actually rein in the sky glow that's erasing our starry nights and still have well-designed, useful outdoor lighting that helps us see. Losing our night skies is not a foregone conclusion, and Globe at Night has become a means of spurring public awareness.
I grew up in Massachusetts, and at that time, when I was growing up, you could see the Milky Way overhead, but that was 9 miles west of Boston, and now you can't see it at all.
Okay, some of you may be wondering, how could Connie and her co-authors, super smart people who know light pollution, how could they be caught off guard by their findings? I mean, how did we not know that the night sky was getting like 10% brighter every year? Well, let's replay this clip.
We thought it was only 2% by the satellite measurements.
Notice what she mentioned.
Satellites.
Basically, we'd been leaning on satellites to track light pollution before we had this great big pool of citizen science observations. A couple of satellites in particular. Without going too much into the weeds, this satellite data had some limitations, especially because of a big change down here on Earth in our artificial lighting.
The LED revolution occurred.
The LED revolution. This was a huge shift just in the past few decades.
That's when you found the LEDs are becoming cheaper and could be made into street lights.
Bright white lights started appearing everywhere, street lights, you name it. And they look like this bright white to us, but they're actually putting out a lot of blue spectrum.
Very, very blue.
That was a new aspect of the light pollution.
And they could not sense it from the satellite observations.
But your earthbound human eyeballs sure as heck can sense it. Plus, you can look all around you and see light pollution in all directions, which is useful to scientists. The satellites, obviously, they just look down.
You get a better sense, even from the eye, of what is happening in terms of blue light, LED light, all kinds of light, from just taking visual measurements.
So, in a world where it can feel hard for us mere humans to compete with the incredible tech we're building, know that astronomers actually really appreciate your regular old human vision. And if more and more people help by reporting to Globe at Night, the data will get better and better.
And that's why these measurements from citizen scientists are so important, because none of us on our small team can be everywhere all at once. So we really do need various citizen scientists from around the world to help take these measurements.
You need lots of eyeballs.
We do, everywhere and at all times.
Globe at Night today gets a lot more reports from some places than others.
A lot of them come from big cities, and that's good, but you also need the rural ones that don't have as much light pollution for comparison, and also to monitor and make sure that they don't get any worse.
So, Globe at Night's website,
globeatnight.org, very easy to remember.
it has interactive maps.
You'll see where the data is missing, and it could possibly be in the area that you live.
So I just zoomed in on the map. There are tons of places in the Midwest where no one's reporting data.
Right.
All right, so what exactly does Globe at Night ask us to do? Stick with us, that part's next. Okay, Connie, our helpful astronomer, is going to take us through the steps of Globe at Night.
You rate the light pollution level for your sky.
But don't worry, it's not like a Yelp review. You're not leaving a random opinion. Globe at Night helps you rate your sky on a scientific scale that goes up to 7.
That's how astronomers rate the night sky, through something they call the magnitude scale, or the brightness scale of the stars.
So a rating of 1 is a super bright city, very few stars. 2 gets a bit starrier. By level 5,
5 is where you start seeing the Milky Way itself,
and 7 is like the starriest, most awesome view.
like what you see in the national park, which are so many stars that you can't tell one constellation from another.
When you use Globe at Night, you're going to look at a constellation and report what it looks like where you are.
And you compare it to one of 7 different pictures, basically.
It's like a multiple choice question, and all the answers are star charts. Now, Globe at Night has different campaigns throughout the year, constellations you can focus on. There are 2 campaign targets for February, Perseus and Orion. And Orion is a great one if you're just starting out.
Very, very vivid constellation to start with.
So go outside, find it, and let's say maybe you can see Betelgeuse, the red supergiant star that is often described as one of Orion's shoulders, but you can't see the 3 stars of Orion's belt. Then you're going to pick picture number 1. Or let's say maybe you can see Betelgeuse and you can see 2 of the stars in Orion's belt, but you can't see all 3 stars. Okay, so you're going to pick star chart number 2, and so on, and each chart gets starrier. Another way to think of it is this.
You're looking for the faintest star that you could possibly see in both the sky and the chart.
And in the process of trying this, you get to know the constellations, which is what makes it fun. Okay, hopefully you're feeling inspired to help celebrate Globe at Night's 20th by reporting some data. Pull up Globe at Night on your phone. It's not a separate app, just open it in your browser. Click report, and it'll ask you for the date, time, and where you are. Smartphones are generally going to autofill that information, and then you can get to reporting.
You do need to follow just a couple of conditions. Namely, you have to go out at least an hour and a half after sunset or before sunrise.
This avoids the light of dusk and dawn. Oh, and you don't want the moon interfering either.
You have to have no moon in your night sky, because that's a natural light bulb in our night sky, right?
Pro tip, the Globe at Night folks make this part easy because even though you can report to Globe at Night any day of the year, they list campaign dates on their website for each month. And those dates are for a reason, because that's a 10-day window every month when there won't be a moon in the sky for the first part of the night.
Yes, during the first half of the evening, I would say.
So for February, the campaign dates are February 9th through February 18th. Okay, one last important thing. Once you're outside,
you want to wait for your eyes to get adjusted to the dark. Wait about 10 minutes for people who are young and a little bit longer for people who are older, because it takes us maybe 5 or 10 minutes more for the people who are older to get adjusted to the dark sky.
Now, cell phone screens do interfere with our night vision, so it's nice to put your phone on night mode before you do this. Minimize the blue light that it puts out that really messes with your eyes. That'll make it a little easier when you've got to look at your screen and pick your star chart on Globe at Night. And hey, I don't know about you, but here's my situation. I can find Orion, but not much else. And there are other campaigns at Globe at Night, like Hercules and Leo and Cygnus, that I wouldn't know how to find those constellations because I'm new to this. A lot of you may already know those constellations, but if you're in the same boat that I am, Connie says apps are your friend.
Things like Starwalk.
So I downloaded that one.
It's a very good app.
The version that has ads in it is free, so that's what I went with. You lift your smartphone up, and the app guides you to move it just right till you're pointed at the constellation you're looking for. Okay, I mentioned earlier, Connie works at NOIR Lab. That's spelled N-O-I-R, NOIR Lab.
Yes, it stands for National Optical Infrared Astronomy Research Laboratory.
And noir is black and French, so, it fits well with exploring the starry skies. It's funded by the National Science Foundation, and in plain terms, it's the U.S.'s National Center for Studying the Night Sky with instruments like telescopes. But I shouldn't picture just like one observatory somewhere that is NOIR Lab.
We are headquartered in Tucson, Arizona, where I'm sitting right now.
And they've got a big telescope in that area, Kitt Peak, plus another in Hawaii, and
a major set of telescopes down in Chile on 2 mountaintops.
And that's where the new Rubin telescope is, by the way. It's kind of a big deal.
And it's a very exciting, huge telescope that has a wide field of view and takes in a lot of deep sky observations that are even better in some cases, don't tell anybody, than the JWST, the James Webb telescope. And it's amazing. Totally blows your mind.
Connie has had this kind of enthusiasm for the night sky pretty much her whole life.
It's almost like I was born with the desire to be an astronomer. It's happened at a very, very early age.
When she was a kid, NASA went to the moon.
I'm dating myself now.
That really impacted her. So did photos that astronauts took, like Earthrise. It's from 1968, when the first crew to orbit the moon got to see the Earth rise over the moon's horizon.
That picture, no one had ever seen anything like that. And that captured the imagination of almost every child on Earth that saw that, and inspired a good fraction of us to go into the sciences or engineering or whatnot. And I was one of those people.
Seeing our planet just floating there, surrounded by black, that image left its mark on her.
You're looking back on a very fragile Earth, right? But it's a unified Earth. It's one sky and one planet together.
The only planet we've got, and we're all sharing it. And that realization stuck.
How we're stewards of the Earth and how we should protect it, environmentally speaking.
And to Connie, dealing with excessive light pollution is part of that.
How it is affecting not just astronomy, but our health and the bioenvironment, different animals, different plants, how we're wasting energy.
Dark Sky International estimates we're burning an extra 21 million tons of carbon dioxide annually on wasted outdoor lighting that doesn't actually help us. And by the way, that statistic is just for the United States. So that's nearly a third of U.S. outdoor lighting. There's also evidence that light pollution is messing with our health, our sleep, our mental health, just our overall physical well-being.
But I really think that for me, one of the biggest effects is on our cultural heritage. Because you think about children of tomorrow, and you think about how the night sky has inspired not just astronomers, but all sorts of artists, from Shakespeare to who wrote beautiful sonnets that had to do with the sun and the moon and things like that. You had Van Gogh with his Starry Night. You had Holst, the composer of music that did the planets. So you had all these people who were influenced by the night sky. And if you take away that source of influence, what are you doing to future generations, right? You'll not have this inspiration in the future. And so we have a responsibility to maintain that access to a beautiful, dark, starry night sky. That falls on us. And it's an easy thing to rectify.
Okay, if you want to learn how to reduce light pollution by picking the right light bulbs and the right fixtures next time you're at the hardware store, we've got a great episode that gives you all the tips on how to do that. We will link to that episode in the show notes. It is called Say No to Sky Glow. Up From Dust is a production of KCUR Studios and the Kansas News Service. And here's some cool news. We are now a part of Harvest Public Media, which covers 12 states across the Midwest and Great Plains. I am very excited about this. This episode was reported, written, and mixed by me, Celia Yopis Jepsen. My editors are Mackenzie Martin and Stephen Caranda. Special thanks to KPR in Lawrence for access to their studio. Music provided by David Condos, Tom Lonnie, Milktooth, and Blue Dot Sessions. Sound effects from Pixabay. You also heard a snippet of The Planets performed by the Warsaw Philharmonic. Next time on Up From Dust, we are meeting a farmer who has spent years on eliminating chemicals from his farming routine. And I gotta say, he is not taking the approach I expected. Until then, thanks for listening.